Hello everyone and welcome to our Nevada Preps wrap-up show where we're going to talk about all the biggest high school football matchups in Southern Nevada. It is hard to believe, but it's already week 5, and so we got plenty to talk about as we're getting into the throes of league play. I am Ben Gotz, joined of course by the lovely Elaine Wilson. And Elaine, I'm excited this week because for the first time in a while, we're not talking about weather issues. We're not talking about fights that may or may not have broken out at games. We're just going to talk about some football.
And not only that, a Saturday edition of football. You know, all those early birds waking up for those college games. We're now at football stadiums around Southern Nevada. So that's always a fun time, having some Saturday football. We'll start off with our upset special of the week, Palo Verde Faith Lutheran. This one was quite the thriller down to the end. We start with Palo Verde. They went up 17-0 through the entire third quarter. Big defensive game for these guys, back and forth. Kept it tight all game, but it wasn't until 4 minutes left, just 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, where Faith Lutheran got their stuff together and they pulled the upset over Palo Verde. Not only was this a big upset, it was on the back of their backup quarterback that came in for the injured starter. So really impressive stuff out at Faith Lutheran today. Final score of that one was 20-17.
Yeah, especially because the Crusaders started out 0-3, so for them to get this win, especially in the fashion that they did with that big comeback, really impressive for them. That team showed a lot of fight today. Well, next up, we're going to talk about a Northwest League matchup, Arborview and Shadow Ridge, one I was really excited about because these two teams play really similar styles. They love to run the football, they don't like to pass, but one team definitely out-executed the other today. Here we do see a rare pass for Arborview, but it is, of course, intercepted by a Shadow Ridge defender. Shadow Ridge actually took an early lead in this game, but that Arborview rushing attack was just too much to stop. Actually, another big pass play here. Arborview had 10 plays of more than 20-plus yards in this game. It was really incredible. They had a lot of explosive plays, including this one by running back Diego Stubbs. Stubbs was a monster in this game. 219 all-purpose yards as the Aggies roll to a 55-26 win over the Mustangs. Arborview has been as impressive as any team in Southern Nevada so far, and they proved it again with another big league win today.
I've been to a lot of Arborview games, and I've been very impressed so far. I was interested to see this because of the similar offenses, but obviously Aggies pulling out the win in this one. Another early game that we had this morning, 11 a.m. I had to set my alarm to get up for this one. Sierra Vista and Clark. Sierra Vista had their homecoming tonight, so they were super excited for this one, and a packed stadium for a Saturday, which I was really impressed with. The band was excited. The band was just awesome all game. I was so impressed with them. Sierra Vista struck first in this one, and they just kept rolling. We have the quarterback passing to Kevin McCrae for an early touchdown, and then this defensive fumble recovery. Defense gets to get in the end zone sometimes too. And of course, it just went on from there. Touchdowns back to back to back. The halftime score of this one was the same as the final. There was no scoring in the second half, and the final score of this one was 49-14, an impressive win from the Mountain Lions. We saw running, we saw a great pass attack. It was just incredible, and a lot of Sierra Vista Mountain Lions were excited coming out of this one and getting their moves on before the homecoming dance tonight. Final score of that one, 49-14.
Yeah, there had been a lot of buzz about that Clark Chargers program coming in, but Sierra Vista definitely took it to them today.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they just dominated on the field.
Yeah, well, we're going to go back to the Northwest League here. Legacy played at Centennial. The Longhorns are used to playing on Saturdays now because they played against Liberty last Saturday, and our man Zach Pokleb has more on what they did this Saturday.
Thanks to a balanced offensive attack and a stalwart defense, Legacy was able to hold on to the win, keeping the Centennial Bulldogs winless this season.
Aubrey Washington takes the pitch, takes the socks off the first defender, hits the highlight stick to spin out of another tackle, cuts it back, and goes 80 yards to the end zone. A nice way to start the scoring for his team. Now, after Legacy's defense comes up with an interception, Roberto Valenzuela floats a beautiful ball down the seam to Antoine Clipper to put the Legacy Longhorns up 13-0. Now, it looked like they were going to run away with this game, but the Bulldogs marched down the field, and Vlad Plotkinov finds Tyler Fujimoto in the flat. The Bulldogs would convert a two-point conversion to cut the lead to 13-8 going into halftime. After forcing Centennial into a 3-and-out, Legacy's Isaiah Whitehead takes the handoff and goes up the middle untouched for the score. But Centennial would not go away. Ensuing drive, Plotkinov finds Leland Wallace down the left side, and Wallace punches it in. Next drive, Valenzuela tosses a dime to Elijah Jackson, and a few plays later, Amir Foster rumbles into the end zone to make it 28-14. The Bulldogs would make it interesting late, and here Plotkinov finds Isaiah Connor after a nice double move. Centennial made its way into the red zone, but Legacy's defense would come up with a huge goal line stop on 4th down to close out any hope for Centennial. Valenzuela would punch in another score to ice the game, and Legacy gets the W, 35-14.
Well, we're not all about big schools here. We also want to bring up a big 3A matchup that happened. Virgin Valley defeated Sunrise Mountain 30-27 off of a late kick by kicker Elaine Ramos. That was the final margin. Easton Jensen also had a punt return touchdown for the Bulldogs in this victory. So it's really nice to see the Bulldogs get back on track. They are now 2-2 on the year. Well, that's going to be it for all the games we're going to talk about tonight. So thank you all for joining us, and now we're going to toss it to our scoreboard. So close.
So close.